books have won major awards, earned bestseller status, and reached audiences around the world. Now, Massachusetts author Paul Tremblay is here with his new novel, Dead But Dreaming of Electric Sheep. It's a genre-bending story that mixes horror, science fiction, and dark humor. Paul, you never cease to amaze us. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
We saw you before during the pandemic times.
Yeah.
Virtual. That was when one of your books was adapted for the big screen.
That's right.
What have you been up to since?
Oh boy. Well, a couple other novels, or another novel had come out after that. Horror movie that was one that, my first one to make the New York Times bestsellers list. So that was amazing. And yeah, then just been working on this novel while also suing OpenAI ChatGPT, which sort of informed the experience of this novel.
Okay, tell us more about that. This is the newest one.
Yeah.
So it's called, I love the name, Dead But Dreaming of Electric Sheep. What can people expect?
So really briefly, the main conceit is that there's someone who's like my age, height, and build, who works for a giant tech company. And while he's at work, he has a massive stroke. Okay. He doesn't die, but he falls into like a vegetative state. But he had signed his body and brain away to the company. And so they implant AI and nanobots into his head. So someone could remote control him, like a video game. The CFO ends up hiring her semi-estranged 24-year-old daughter, who was at once a professional gamer, to basically weekend at Bernie's him across the country.
Wow.
So it's like half the narrative, and I hope those parts are both funny and weird and satirical. But of course, because of what's been implanted in his brain, the man isn't brain dead. But he's going through like a very weird, almost phantasmagoric sort of experience. So the chapters alternate. You get like what's happening in his brain with what Julie is actually doing when she's controlling him.
Wow. Where do you come up with this? Like, where does your head go?
That's a great question. Everything starts like a weird what if, and sometimes you put them away. But this is going to sound, I guess, typical for a horror writer, but I happen to be reading a book called Stiff by Mary Roach. She's a best-selling pop science writer. She's amazing. But her book was all about like what happens to your body after you die.
Oh, interesting.
And while I was reading that book, I had the weird because I think she was talking about transporting bodies across the country. It's like, that'd be weird if you were sitting in a plane and there was a dead person next to you, but someone was controlling them doing that. Yeah. Okay,
you mentioned horror writing. What keeps pulling you back into this genre?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm afraid all the time. Like people ask me, what scares you? Everything. Like I'm a card-carrying scaredy cat. If I'm home alone at night, the lights are on. I'm not above sleeping with like a desk lamp on if I need to.
Really?
I wish my brain didn't work like that, but it does. So.
And it's always been like that?
It's always been like that. Starting even, for people of a certain age in this area, there was a program called Creature Double Feature on the weekends, like pre-cable TV, so I was like 7 or 8. And that's, I first started watching Godzilla and horror movies and having to sleep with the light on or stuffed animals around my head.
Well, we have to talk about the fact that you are entering a new chapter. You just left teaching full-time to now pursue writing full-time, and this is an exciting time because this book comes out next week. You're going to be on tour now for this. What can people look forward to at the tour stops?
Well, so typically at the tour stops, I'll have a partner where we'll do it in conversation like this, and then, just sign books, take questions, take selfies, all of it. It's a fun time. Yeah, readers are always super nice and super cool. I mean, that's the fun part. Like you get to go and talk about this thing that, it took me a couple of years to write. And, it was a hard write.
Celebrate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Celebrate it. All right. Well, if you guys want to get a copy of the book, get your hands on this, and also learn more about Paul, you can do so by heading to his website, paultremblay.net. Paul, congratulations on this. Congratulations on the next chapter.
Thank you, Hannah. I appreciate it.
And thanks for being here today.
My pleasure.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time here on The Hub Today. Have a good afternoon.